G'day, this is Christine from Gecko Gully Websites. One of my clients is a bit upset because the text on her homepage is a bit messy. Now this can happen when you've been editing your homepage quite a lot, or any of your pages on WordPress. It could be a page or a post, or it could be even a product if you're using WooCommerce or something like that. And the main reason is because quite often you've got a lot of HTML involved in the formatting of this. It can also occur when you have copied something from another website onto WordPress, and so you've got all this messy HTML happening. Now, there's two ways of fixing this. One is a bit complicated and one of them is fairly straightforward. The complicated way is to learn HTML and then edit the HTML so that you are editing out all of the reformatting. The other way to do it, I'm about to show you. So let's go to edit this page. This is what it looks like in the WordPress editor. Now this is on the visual tab, so this is a rough idea of what it may look like on the front end. But what we really need to look at to see the problem is this text view. Now the text view will show you all the HTML. Now if you're not familiar with HTML, this will look like total gobbledygook, but what we've basically got is we've got a lot of these div things here. And what these div things do is they break this text up into different chunks and different pieces. So we've got some divs here where you've got div and then you've got slash div. The div bit is the start of a div or a division, and the slash div is the end of it. So here we've got nothing in between it. In between the start div and end div, there's nothing there. So this is why we've got a whole lot of mess in there. We've also got H1, which is headings. We've got one thing in here which we do need to be careful of, which is an iframe, where we've actually included a Vimeo video onto the website. We've got all sorts of messy bits and pieces in here. We've even got down here, this is all spaces, so there's lines with just spaces in there. So there's a lot of mess in here. Now, the easiest way to clean this up is to go back into your visual place. And what we're going to do is I'm just done Control A. So I've held on my keyboard, I've held down the Control key and I've tapped the A key. I believe on a Mac it's Command A, but I'm not a Mac expert, so please forgive me if I make a mistake about Mac. So Control A, and that'll select everything. And now I'm going to go Control C, which copies it all to my clipboard. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Notepad. Now I don't know what this is on a Mac. Sorry, I'm not very good with Macs, as I said, but there is an equivalent to Notepad on Mac. So perhaps if you're a Mac user, you'll know about it. And if I've got a feeling it's called Notes, but if you're a Mac user, you may know what I'm talking about. And if you're new to Mac, then maybe you could Google it and find out. What I then did is I then did Control V, V for Victor, to paste. So what I've done is I have pasted all the content from that home page onto my Notepad. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Control A to select and Control C to copy again. So what I've done is I have copied the content from the home page into Notepad, and now I'm copying it out of Notepad again. You're probably thinking, why? The reason is because that removes all the formatting. Okay, so what I've done is I have taken from here, from the website homepage, a formatted version of all this text, and I have put the formatted version into Notepad via my clipboard, which is the Control A, Control C, Control V thing. Then I'm taking it out of Notepad again by using Control A, Control C, so that I can have a unformatted version of all that text in my clipboard. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Pages, which is this here, Pages, and I'm going to click Add New. And I'm going to create a temporary page just to use for reformatting all of this. Now I'm just going to call it Christine Testing. And I'm still going to stay on the visual tab, and I'm going to do Control V to paste all this stuff in there. Now as you can see, it's got all the same content as our original home page, but the formatting is all different. So what I will then do is I will then go through and format this the way I want it. If we look under the text version, we'll see that we don't have all that HTML stuff in here. It's all nicely clean, if you like. Okay. Now there's one thing we do need to make sure we did copy out of here, and that was that Vimeo video thing. So I've gone back into the text view on the original home page. I'm going to highlight the iframe, which is this thing here. And then I'm going to go back. Now it's under the words "and no interest ever." Okay, so I'm going to go back to here to the text view, no interest ever, Control V. So there's my Vimeo video put in there. Now if I go publish on this, and this is not meant to be kept as a permanent page, this is just a temporary thing. And then I'm just going to go open link in new tab, so I can have a look and see what this looks like. It looks like this. Okay, so we've got some spacing in there, we've got the video coming out, but it is already tidier than the original home page, which was all this stuff here. Okay, so what the next thing to do is to go through and edit this so that it looks how you want it to look. So for example, all this stuff here, I believe the client wanted that in the center, so I've highlighted it and I've clicked the center on the front there. It's got here Ringwood Sewing Centre will be closed Monday the 25th and January 26th. Well, it's actually after that now. We're now in February, so I don't think she's going to want that. So I'm going to highlight that and delete it. Let's go back to here. What else did she have up here? So this first line, she's got that in red. So let's make that one red. So I'll highlight that. Text color red. So now it's red. And so on down. Okay. So there's other things that she's got in here, like after there, what are the setup fees and charges? We go back to here, we'll find that line. What are the setup fees and charges? And after that, she had a horizontal line. So I hit the enter key and I'll click on a horizontal line. So just basically go down and reformat the page how you wanted it to look. When you're finished, let's assume that was all that was required. When you're finished, you can then click update and just go and hit refresh on here and just check that it is how you want it to look. Wait for this to load. So here we've got at Ringwood Sewing Centre is in red. I'll scroll down a bit. There's my horizontal line. So there's a bit more formatting to be done to make it look nice. But let's assume we've finished all the formatting. What we then do is this is only a temporary page, okay? So what we then do is once we've got it all formatted, let's go to the text view here. And we'll Control A, Control C to copy that out. And then we'll go back into our original home page, go to the text view, Control A, Control V. So what we've now done is we've now copied our nice tidy version into the home page, and then we would click update. I'm not going to do that right now because I'd like the client to actually do this herself so that she can change things as she goes and make it how she wants it to look. But basically that's how you can tidy up a page on WordPress which has got a bit messy and all full of HTML. So to go over it again, you go to the visual view, copy everything into an empty Notepad, copy it out of Notepad, paste it into Notepad, copy it out of Notepad, create a new page and paste it in there in the visual view. Then go through and edit it. You may need to copy some of the HTML from the original into this, like I had to with the Vimeo video. You might have a YouTube video embed in there, whatever you've got, anything that has to be there because you need the original HTML, you'd put that in there. Edit this so that it looks how you want it to look. Check it to make sure it looks how you want it to look. And then when you've finished making all the edits, click on the text view so you're looking at the HTML, copy that HTML back over the top of your original page's HTML and click update on the original page. Then of course once you've finished that, you can go back into all pages and you can actually click trash on the one that you created. So this one here, you can click trash on that and it will go into the trash. And that's it. I hope this helps. Get back to me if you've got any questions. Bye.